are some tips for creating multimedia presentations. Start with your goal in mind. It's not enough to be creating video content, but start with a purpose for success. What are you trying to achieve? Would you like to create more interest in your content? And would you like to share a story? Your requirements for what you want to achieve could require different videos, so make sure you're starting at ground zero when it comes to creating a video. Know your target audience. Understanding your audience is a universal challenge that all educators have to face. Really understanding your target audience is about more than just the demographic makeup. It's about identifying what's going on in their mind's eye and knowing what will motivate them. I can't stress enough how important it is to get to know your students and to make your courses meaningful to their lives. Create interesting quality content. It's not enough just to publish any video. Take the time to plan and create a video that's high quality. It's okay if there are other great examples of the same type of video out on the internet, but the important thing is that you can't just create a B-grade version of the same videos that are already available. Remember, they want to learn something or understand what's in it for them. Produce a helpful video and you'll create a relationship with your students. Don't forget your call to action. What do you want students to do when they reach the end of the video? Don't leave them hanging. Suggest the next step with a call to action so they can download a piece of content, go to the course for more information, or watch another video. For every piece of content you create, there should always be another place you can direct your viewers when they're done watching your video. Test and measure all your videos. Is your video working? Go to analytics to see if they're being watched. Analyze this information and you can start to understand what videos work well with your audience and when they start to tune out. So one of the big questions is, how do I do a video? Due to resources being eliminated because of budget, this is a tough question to answer, but a modern smartphone can actually be very effective. Here are a few tips. Use a stand or a tripod if possible. This eliminates camera movement during filming. And film in landscape mode. This will fill the computer screen. Filming in a portrait mode will make a smaller picture with black space on the left and right of the video. While drones have been out on the market for a long time now, they're becoming more and more affordable with lots of great features. If you're doing a video on an outdoor topic or need to include visually appealing outdoor space, like in Southeast Alaska, there's nothing that captures exteriors like drone video. Making a media-ready video on YouTube. Publish your video online. This is an option to have a video that doesn't take any room on your computer, but has a link to make it easy to get to. Publish it as unlisted. Many users play videos without sound, so be sure to include caption files or text overlays to make sure the video is just as enjoyable without sound. Thumbnail images are important. Make sure that someone scrolling by can understand what your video is about without having to read the text in your post. And remember to use landscape videos. Here are a few more tips to consider. Create a compelling title that clearly communicates what users can expect. Include a complete description that outlines everything that your video is going to cover. Attach a clickable table of contents that outlines the different topics that you cover in your videos. Add subtitles to the video. Engage with comments on your videos, and keep your video to 5 minutes or less if possible. Here are a few filming tips. The first is, use plenty of light. Lighting is the most important visual component. I found that a $35 webcam looks better than a $1,500 camera when the lighting is right. A lot of shadow can be dramatic, but that's not what we generally want when filming for class. If you're looking for more shadow, put the key light at one side of the triangle and your camera at the other. Use a clean background. Avoid messy or distracting backgrounds. Use a solid color background when possible. Make sure the subject is a few feet in front to avoid shadows. Do not shoot in front of a window or a mirror that will reflect the camera. You also want to prioritize crisp, clear audio. Audio is actually more important than the visual. Use the best microphone you can afford. Be aware of background noise like garbage trucks, birds singing, or especially wind noise. You may not be aware during filming, but it will be very obvious in the recording. And avoid shaky footage. Mount the camera when possible. It's better to cut from one shot to another rather than moving the camera. Understand the rule of thirds. Imagine there's a 3x3 grid laid over the field you're filming. Instead of placing your subject right in the middle of the shot, you should place your subject along one of the lines of the grid. The points where the lines intersect are particularly strong areas of focus, so situate important elements of the video there if you can. And use your phone the right way. Use the camera on the back of your phone. The front camera's quality is usually not as good on most phones. And again, record in landscape mode, that is horizontally instead of vertically. This will give you footage that looks good on larger devices, not just phone screens. And last, work on your camera presence. Use calm, open body language. Stand up straight. Poor posture is immediately obvious on camera. Keep your shoulders back and your muscles relaxed. Take deep breaths. Don't cross your arms, since this makes you look closed off. Smile, especially at the beginning of your video. It makes a huge difference on how friendly you seem. Slow down slightly when you talk, and make an effort to enunciate clearly. Speak from your diaphragm rather than your throat. If you feel jittery, try using props to keep your hands occupied. Writing on a whiteboard, for instance, can give you something to focus on besides the camera. And practice, practice, practice. Watch footage of yourself and identify the areas where you could improve. Then make a conscious effort to work on those things. You also want to shoot from a variety of angles. Cutting from one angle to another is a good and simple way to add visual interest to your professional videos. When you change perspectives, shift by at least 45 degrees. Smaller shifts in perspective don't really create the intended effect. They just look jarring to the viewer. This is especially useful technique if you're making a how-to video or another type of video that shows you doing something rather than just talking. And shoot plenty of B-roll footage for each video so you have the option of using it later if you want to. A-roll is the main subject, where B-roll is what stitches everything together. Choose a good video editing program. Good video editing software can help you turn your raw footage into something great. There are some simpler tools like Camtasia or iMovie. More professional options include Final Cut Pro and Adobe Premiere Pro. Another tool that I recommend is Screencast-O-Matic for simpler editing. Keep your editing simple. Trying out different effects can be fun during the video editing process, but don't go too crazy. A simple, clean editing style generally looks most professional. A few things you should be sure to do during the editing stage if you have the technology include using noise canceling to clean up any background noise, adjust the lighting a little if you need to, cutting out awkward pauses and silences, and adding background music and transitions. Another editing tip, if you cut from one scene to another in your video, make the jump when there's motion in both segments. This is smoother and more natural than jumping from one scene where nothing is happening to another. And here are a few last words. Think about how you're dressed. Pajamas might be comfortable, but do they present the right image for your students? Do a quick test prior to doing the actual recording. This will help tell you if the background is okay, if you are centered on the screen, and if the audio is working. Look at the camera. This is your way of making eye contact with the class. Relax and use mannerisms as if you were presenting a live lecture. This personalization will be appreciated by your students. And have a script. Know what you're going to say. Winging it through multiple takes could take a long time. It's best to prepare what you're going to say prior to stepping in front of the camera. Plus, if you have a script, this can be used as a transcript for students who need it. I hope you enjoyed these tips, and thank you so much for watching.